Lexington, Kentucky. Patterson's log cabin. Arriving in the rain, the area outside the bus station was too quiet. Wearing my lightweight plastic coat and hood, I pulled my luggage cart down the street. The rain slowed and I breathed a sigh of relief. I saw a young white man on a ladder painting his house. He gave me a friendly hello and asked if I needed help. I explained my project. He said, "You picked the wrong day to come to see the horses. There never is public transportation on Sunday. The city closes down. Did you know the horse farms were all private and you could only visit by invitation?" I shook my head no. Watching him paint, I said, "You're doing a good job." He thanked me, saying, "This area has been designated historical. I am restoring my house. I've done a lot of work, but I still have a lot to do." I continued on my way thinking of the involved effort I made getting to Lexington to see the horses. I walked until I saw a log cabin nestled under a sycamore tree. A stone wall on the street gave me a place to put my watercolors, tray, and jar of water. Taking out my sketchbook, I began painting. An older Caucasian woman came by. When she stopped, I explained my project. She asked, "Do you know the story of the Patterson cabin?" I said, "No." She related. In 1780, the Patterson farm stood on this site. This log cabin housed the family for generations. When the war between the states began, the Pattersons relocated to Ohio. They dismantled the cabin log by log, placed them on wagons, and carried them to Ohio. They built the cabin, and there it remained for the next 100 years. When the Lexington Historical Society was organized to save historical buildings, it was discovered that the Patterson cabin was still intact in Ohio. Through the cooperation of many individuals, Ohio agreed to return the Patterson cabin to Lexington. Log by log, the cabin was once again dismantled and returned to its original site. I thanked her for sharing the story. Completing the watercolor, I wrote, "Patterson's cabin, since 1780 stands. Summer passing on." Berea College. Founded in 1855, Berea College has a long history of interracial education. Passing the college, I returned to the bus station. I sat and waited for my bus to nowhere. As I sat, I thought of my travels to this place. I took out a sheet of paper and wrote, "There are no horses. It's Sunday and raining too. Sycamores are green." Also, I wrote, "See the horses there? No, it's Sunday. It's raining and Sunday. Come back next summer." Of course, I never did. Cinnamon-colored horses. When the bus arrived, I sat up front with the driver. I was his only passenger. He was a handsome young blond man. Leaving Lexington, we passed one of the private horse farms. On my left were 3 beautiful cinnamon-colored horses, tossing their manes and prancing around the green, fenced-in pasture. It was too late to write or paint, but I looked at the beautiful animals and smiled. They brought me to Lexington to paint a centuries-old cabin. I was happy. I asked the driver where our first stop would be. He said Louisville will be our first stop and then Evansville, Indiana. That's where I'll leave you. Thanking him, I closed my eyes. As the only passenger on the bus, I decided to go to sleep.